Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin van Lukener certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.
Well, hello, welcome to part 2 of the season, if I can put it that way. We're at the halfway stage as we come to Lommel in Belgium of the 2024 FIM World Sidecar Motocross Championship. It's going to be fantastic. This is round 6, so we have 10 more races on our calendar before the end of the season. And it's very, very close at the top. Marvin van Lukener is closing in. This town is also magnificent. We had a good look round. We had a nice hotel. It's been very pleasant. It's not that far from the circuit. It's literally a short drive. Portugal was where it all started, and that's when the Lille Bardis boys really showed what they intended to do this year. Marvin van Lukener ran into some problems, so he didn't have the best start. But from the word go, Daniel and Bruno, Lille Bardis, played the red plate. They were to lose it briefly after the following round, but reclaimed it. Koen Hermans, Ben van den Bogart were good in header, but also the Lille Bardis boys rode well there. The Prunier brothers showed their prowess in the sand. Header, though, was deep. Of course, Lommel is a very different kettle of fish, and that's where we find ourselves this weekend. But France was an absolute playground for Kilian and Evan Prunier, the French champions. They took overall victory on home soil. Amazing crowd, good weather. The Lille Bardis boys knew they'd got a race on their hands coming into this season, but they were still going hard. Marvin van Lukener, Glenn Janssens, not having the luckiest of seasons, but were fighting all the way and just gradually closing in. Kremlin in the Czech Republic was a one-day event due to adverse weather. That did not detract from the racing, though. Despite the weather, the track held up really, really well, and it was game on again, with the Lille Bardis boys having a bit of an incident. Their luck was about to change. They weren't to know it, but they were obviously pushing so hard they were encountering one or two difficulties, but still sitting on top of the pile. Koen Hermans, Ben van den Bogart still having their share of problems, but always the speed was there. And in Poland we saw that yet again. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard as well, still holding 5th place going into Gdansk. But they came under pressure, as did several others. Gdansk was an eventful weekend. The red plates still with the Lille Bardis boys. Were they about to give it up? Well, no, not really. You have to say, despite all the crashes, all the incident, they were still there. But in Lommel, they were about to meet someone they'd been admiring for years. Etienne Bax was back.
A final ride with his brother Robbie. But having said that, Etienne, last weekend in a national race in the championship, you won both races. So this is your second ride this year.
Yeah, you know, in preparation on this race, we are working on this project for 6 to 7 weeks now, I think. And we tried to go to practice. Bike was ready 3 weeks ago. We tried to go to practice, but the weather here in Holland was so bad, and it was not easy to find tracks that was open. Last week was the same. So we found Berchem, the Dutch Championship. This was a race we could ride. This track would be also prepared because, yeah, it's a race, so they prepare the track better. And we decided to go to this race. And yeah, we won 2 heats, so we did not expect this, and it was just really nice.
Thinking of the sport going forwards, do you think the sport is in safe hands? There's talent coming through. Will it continue as strongly as ever?
Yeah, for sure there's talent on the way. You know, if you see now that Lille Bardis is leading the championship, they're 17 years old. This was only a dream from us, you know, in our time when we had that age. So no, it's great. The Prunier boys, and there's more talent coming from Holland as well. So yeah, it will be good, and the sport will survive this. Yeah.
Yeah, we have make big crash there. We don't know exactly what happened. Team have problem with the leg, and now it's not completely okay, but he do the maximum for comeback. Yeah, it's not easy to to come back at the same level. The pain stay here, and we hope come back fit quickly.
Rodolphe, on a personal note, forget the injuries and the bad luck. What is it like riding with Tim Prummer? He looks very, very quick and very tidy.
Yeah, I take fun, lot of fun with Tim. We make some good. We have good feeling on the bike. We learn together in the sand in the Dutch Championship, and on the hard pack I help him on the jump and on some corner, and he helped me also. So we continue to learn together and go more faster and faster.
And you're really enjoying this season, yeah? Just looking forwards all the time.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying about this season. For me, it was my first real season of GP. So yeah, I'm really happy.
Well, good luck to you both, and I look forward to it. How are you in the sand? Good?
Yeah, normally it's not my favorite track, but I start to learn in the sand. It's not easy, but yeah, I like that.
Well done. Good luck.
Danke.
Yeah, it's half season now, so we have 10 races to go, and there can happen a lot in those races. So yeah, we don't give up, and we still keep going.
But for some bad luck, you'd be in a much, much stronger position. But that luck seems to follow you from weekend to weekend.
Yeah, that's true, but I hope it will finish now and we will make a good weekend, and then it will change a lot.
Lommel will be good for you, won't it? Because you love those conditions. You're a master in the sand.
Well, yeah, last year it was really good, but at the end of the race we had some glitch problems, yeah. So we didn't finish, but we know the speed is good in the sand, and we have some small changes on the engine now for the weekend, so it will be really good, I think.
And we have Etienne Bax having a one-off ride, and of course he could steal points from any one of the top ones.
Yeah, of course, it's good he's riding now this weekend, because he can, if we are first and he's second and Lil Bartels will be 3 or Marvin, then the gap for the points is more, so it's good he's this weekend here.
It can work both ways, can't it?
Yeah, but it's nice he is back on track this weekend.
It's nice for you to say so. Good luck and have a good weekend. Finish both races.
Yeah, thank you. We do the best.
This man needs no introduction to you. It's Etienne Bax, 5 times a world champion. He lives literally just over there or over there. It's a matter of kilometres away, Etienne. What does Lommel mean to you and your career over the many years?
Well, back in 1994 I started my sidecar career with the 85cc sidecar, and it was actually in Lommel. We first made our first meters in our backyard, and then the first meters on the track was actually in Lommel in the small track. So I have a lot of nice memories here, and it's really nice to end here as well, you know. So it all started here in Lommel, and it will end in Lommel as well.
It's quite emotional, really, because I'm fairly new, not to the sport, but I'm new to you, only known you for the last 6 or 7 years. But you've always been there as a true professional. You've been a super champion. It must be with the mixed feelings that you walk away.
Yes, of course. Now I'm here and I see all my old friends, and it's of course difficult. You know, it's something I did for over 30 years, and it's like a family, and we are all like a family. Although we are competitors to each other and we can be hard to each other, at the end of the day we are all family, and this makes it sometimes difficult. But from the other side, I have a family at home. I have 2 grown-up children, and it is okay. I feel okay with my decision, and I think this is the most important, because if you're not ready, you cannot stop, you know, and I think I'm ready. So it's nice, and now I can do more with my family, and that's also important.
Yeah, that is important, and that's good as well. Of the 5 championships you hold, is there one year that is special, or were they all special in their own way?
They were all special in their own way, and the first title is always nice, but yeah, actually all the titles were nice, all 5 of them, and I was very grateful that I could ride always with the best passengers over my whole career. So I'm very grateful for that, and I just overall had a great time. 5 world titles, 9 Dutch titles, and 8 European titles. It's nice, you know. I have everything. There is nothing in my career what I would do different. So I think I'm happy with my decision, and I think it's good like this.
How hard has it been behind the scenes, year after year, keeping the sponsors on board? And I know how much hard work it is, but you seem to work much harder at it than some others.
Yeah, well, we did our best, of course, because if you want to be a world champion, it starts with a good budget. And not a budget to make a party, but to have the good stuff, the best bikes, enough spare parts. It all starts with this, but also you need to have all technicians on the track. Like in the time when we rode with Zabel was always there. When we ride a race, Zabel was there. And in this moment with P-Power is there if we ride a race. It's important. He needs to adjust the bike the last 1%, and this is all small things, but you need to have what needs to come together. So it is always very important to me to have everything in and around the sport 100%.
Well, I think it's appropriate that we've reached a point in the track where we're seeing the typical Lommel sand dig up. That is a special type of terrain which you have mastered. Not everybody does.
Yeah, it is something where we grow up with, and I think I also like hardpack tracks. I like the nice jumps. I like the hardpack tracks, but this is something different. And it's nice, deep ruts, and it really comes. You don't need to give full gas, but you need to choose the right lines. And I think this is a sport, what I like.
Well, I wish you luck this weekend, your final weekend, but I'd like to say on behalf of everybody on our side and all the viewers out there and all the fans, thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you very much.
Qualification Group A then. We won't be seeing Etienne Bax until Group B, but Quali A, they line up. Let's see what they can do here. We've got a good entry here. Well over 40 sidecar teams, so there will be a last chance. And we have pretty much a full grid. I think something like 21 or 22 go in each of the two qualifications. So let's see what they do as they streak off. I can see the Lefrinks in there. Now, who's that in the red? That's a new name for me and new name for you in the World Championship. Junior Verhelst, absolutely good local man. Sabadagwin in the sidecar. These guys ride in the Dutch Championship but tend not to do the Grand Prix, so there are one or two of those this weekend. The 419 outfit, Junior Verhelst on the Zabel WSB with the Lefrinks chipping away at him already. Leo Vardases are there. You can see Leo Vardases and the Prunier boys in fourth. Kilian Evon Prunier in fourth place. Also, the 2-8 crew, Davy Ebb and Nick Mas, had a good start as well. But Prunier is on the back of Daniel and Bruno Lielbardis. Already, though, Tim and Sam Lefrink are storming away here. The 75 crew, the Dutch brothers. And 94, Kilian Evon Prunier, the French champions. Freely admit that sand is not their forte, but I tell you what, they're going well here. This Group A qualifier then. And Prunier's come here third in the championship on 188 points. So they need to get a good gate start tomorrow for the Grand Prix races. And they are now fending off a challenge. In fact, they've gone past Julia Verhelst. So the 419 now being relegated by the Frenchman, who have got their way up to second place. Looking for Brett Wilkinson as well. Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard. Where's the British crew? Well, they're on their way, I can tell you that. But out front, Tim and Sam Leffering having a great ride here. A flying start for them, and that... Oh, they're there! They're stuck! And there's Wilkinson and Millard going through on the inside. Tim and Sam Leffering have got it fogged in the deep stuff. Oh, dear me, they look as if they're destined for last chance because everybody else is really charging now. Stefan Wise, Han van Hal in a strong position. Behind Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard, everybody filing through. Lefrinks trying to keep them out of it. You can see how deep it is. That is going nowhere. They are used to this sort of going. Still, the 419. Julia Verhelst still going. Britt Wilkinson, Joe Millard going through on the inside of him. So they're making really good progress up the field now, the British crew. We said so many times how much stronger they get as the race goes on. And this is only a 20-minute plus 2-lap qualifier for Group A. And there we can see the Lille Bardis boys, who have, according to my reckoning, inherited the lead here. Daniel and Bruno Lille Bardis carrying on this fantastically successful season they've had, despite one or two mishaps, upside down in Kramelin. That didn't deter them, it didn't detract from their overall performance. They still have the red plate. Millard in the chair, Wilkinson on the handlebars. And they are fighting off a challenge now from Stefan Wires and Han van Haal. The 418 blue and white clad outfit. Stefan Wires is strong in this sort of going. His native terrain, of course, as we heard from Etienne Bax earlier, they grow up with it, they're used to it. So Wires and Han van Haal on the back then of Brett Wilkinson. 3 minutes left on the clock before we see a 2-lap board. And we're looking at the fight for third place. Daniel and Bruno Lille Bardis are out in front now, following the demise of Tim and Seb Leffering. And there they are. The young Latvians, red plate firmly bolted to the front, and they intend to keep it, I can tell you. And they ride so well in the sand. They've got a hard back, they've immense talent. Checkered flag, there it is. Game, set, and match, you know, qualifying race. So they get pole position. First pick of the gate for the Grand Prix races tomorrow. 25.26 minutes of racing, and Daniel and Bruno Lille Bardis for Latvia win Group A qualifying. Gillian Evon Prunier, they'll be pleased with that, the number 94 crew, bringing it home, chucking a bit of sand over the marshal. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard, third place confirmed, and dropping back a little bit, Stefan Wires, Han van Haal confirmed fourth place. There it is, and Davy Eben, Wilfried Vos, those are names, as I said earlier, that we're not familiar with in the World Championship, and by golly, they're good in the sand, aren't they? Penny Weiss, Patrick Schneider, Julia Verhelst, the first early race leader, dropped to 8th place. Boyd Verhees, Arnie van Abel, Kim de Kock, Stijn de Wilde. They complete the top 10, but what about those young Latvians? Fantastic.
Yeah, it was good for us. We had a third place start. So we quickly get up to second place and push to get first, but I think Leffering had some technical problems, so it was easy for us, and then we just rode in our own rhythm, tried to find some lines for tomorrow, and we're super happy.
Normally I don't really like riding in the sand, but we have to be there. The race was pretty good, the start was decent, and we find some flow in the first couple of laps. The track was pretty flat at the beginning, so it was very good for us. We took the time to get more and more confident along the race, and we are very happy about the riding. We did some technical stuff, very interesting, so it's good for tomorrow.
Brett, not a good start for you, but you made it to the third place. Are you happy with the result?
Yeah, such a bad start. We collided with Wires out the gate, and I think we come in the first corner in last position and managed to come through to third, so really happy with that, yeah.
Okay then, Group B. This one sees a wealth of talent, including a comeback kid, Etienne Bax. And what's he going to do this time? Well, it looks like he's got the whole shot. The 82 has got the whole shot. Etienne and Robbie Bax lead here from Marvin van Lukenen, Gert van Vermen. I told you there's a wealth of talent. Koen Hermans, Ben van der Burgart. All the big guns are in this one, aren't they? My goodness me. But Etienne Bax and Robbie Bax, fresh from double victory a week ago in a round of the National Championship. That's the only time they've ridden this year. Lead quali Group B. Marvin van Lukenen, Glenn Janssens going into the second half of the season, which is where we are now. This signals the beginning of part 2 of the 2024 Championship, with 10 Grand Prix races ahead of these guys. Van Lukenen with Gert van der Vermen and Ivan van der Wiel right with him. Koen Hermans, Ben van der Burgart, And who's that? The 29 crew getting stuck there. That's Rijpen and Lommel. Another pair of new names for you. Marvin van Lukkelen Janssens got bogged in there, and through on the inside went Hermans van den Bogart with Kurt van Verven, the other side of the defending champion. That's Frank Mulders, 72, closing down there. There's Mulders in the red, white and blue. Behind him, more red, white, blue in the shape of the German-French pairing of Tim Prumer, Rodolphe Le Breton. But meanwhile, we know how good Hermans is in this sort of going, and now he's carving a path through in pursuit of the guys at the front. Etienne Bax going really, really well. Hermans then closing him down, and we still have a lot of racing to go. This is the early stages of this race. Oh, upside down. That's Marvin van Lukkelen. Something stuck in the back wheel. Oh no, that means they are going to be destined. If they don't get that going, they're going to be destined for last chance as well. So it's all gone wrong here for the defending and reigning champions, Marvin van Lukkelen and Glenn Janssens. Something stuck in the back end. I don't know whether it's a bit of fence, a bit of rope, no idea at all. Meanwhile, Frank Mulders, there he is, just ahead, the number 72 of the 17, Tim Prumer. Mulders is good in the sand. We keep saying it, don't we? But the local guys know how to ride it, but so does Tim Prumer. Tim Prumer is marching on here. This battle is about third and fourth place, I believe. So we still have a long way to go in this race. The clock's still counting down. But Tim Prumer alongside Mulders. This is so exciting, this Group B. Got most of the big names in it, of course, with the exception of Lil Bardesis, who took a clean sweep in Group A. A relatively kind draw for them in the ballot for the places. Gert van Verven, Ivo van der Wiel still going well. Stuart Brown and Lewis Gray, the British crew. First time we've seen them out this year. Obviously not much riding at home and no riding at all abroad. Oh, Van Verven, he must have crashed because he's facing the wrong way and he's in the deep stuff. So Van Verven, Ivo van der Wiel and still Van Lukkelen in trouble. He managed to get it moving again, but he's in trouble. He's going to be starting from the back row, and he's about to be lapped by Etienne and Robbie Bax. The ignominy of that checkered flag. Bax brings it home for qualifying Group B victory. So that's 3 wins in a row if we take into account the Dutch Championship last weekend. A return to form or what? Waiting for the rest of the guys to come over because Koen Hermans and Ben van den Bogart will claim second place. Jason Van Dalen coming over there. Hermans, Ben van den Bogart claimed the second place. They were a long way down on race winner Etienne Bax. Tim Prumer, Mulders getting fourth. What a fantastic scrap that was. Tim's happy with that, and why wouldn't you be? There it is then, Bax. What a massive victory that was. 35 seconds the gap he had over Koen Hermans. Prumer, Mulders, Gromman van Verven got going again. Claimed 6th ahead of Davy Sanders. Stuart Brown, Lewis Gray in the top 10, 8th place for a comeback for the veteran Brit. His son Jake right behind him. Well, not exactly right behind him.
Yeah, you know, very good. We're riding now since a couple of weeks together again, and feeling is great from the beginning. And yeah, last week we had a prepare race for this GP event, and it was very good. We went 2 races, and now we can win the qualifying heat again. You know, tomorrow it's different. It's 10 minutes longer. It will be hard, it will be demanding because we are not in full fitness, but we will give our best, and hopefully our character can help us.
Yeah, it's for me easy. It's we go for a double win. Today was good. I think we were fastest on the track. The start was not so good. We came back to the wheel. HN, we had nice battles, but we couldn't pass him. So we know what to do tomorrow, and I hope with a better result.
Yeah, it is a very good result. With a look on the bad start we got and how many people we passed, I'm very happy, and it's a good position for tomorrow.
Good morning and welcome back to Lommel on race day here. We're in Belgium under leaden skies. There was very heavy rain overnight. Hopefully the circuit won't be too soaked. It's deep sand, so it should really drain in very, very well. The town, just a beautiful place. The hotel is good. We're happy with everything, but it's a very early start for everyone on race day because the action gets underway very early in the morning. Out at the track, the rain's gone, thankfully, and it's forecast to be a decent day, which is great. The track is in perfect condition. The riders and the officials' presentation to the crowd, so there's a big crowd here. A lot of fans in Belgium. Sadly, this is the only remaining motocross circuit left open at the moment, but things will change, they assure us, in the future. A big environmentalist lobby in Belgium means that the tracks have come under intense scrutiny with regard to environmental issues. All that said, though, doesn't stop the crowds turning up, and we're set for a very, very busy day, with the Leeuwarders boys extending their lead in qualifying, grabbing a few qualifying points to add. Their lead is now 23 going into the racing, ahead of Marvin van Leeuwen and Glenn Janssens. But a good turnout here, and everybody just so excited about what's about to unfold. The appearance of Etienne Bax has been special as well. Here's how they line up then. Leeuwarders boys, quickest in qualifying. Etienne Bax, he won his Group B, so he's up there as well. He was very fast. What a turnout that was. Brunier, Hermans, Wilkinson, Pruma, all the names that you would expect are up there, with the exception of Van Leeuwen and the Lefranks, and they will start in 24th and 25th places. Some names there you're not familiar with, Vos? Well, he's one, that's for sure. Junior Verhelst, 15th place there, that's another new name. Stuart Brown, good to see him. Boyd Verheyes, Jake Brown, Stuart's son, Kim de Kock. And the Wyman brothers, not really covering themselves with glory this weekend. They're not known for their prowess in the sand. Let's wait till we get to the home tracks of Germany. Might see something special from those boys. Who knows? And the rest of them, Devil Dare, Hendrick, Van Dalen, not performing that well this weekend. And then, look at that. Van Leeuwen and the Lefranks had to go to last chance to get a start at all. And they will be on the back row. Svanepoel, the last of the 30. And then the two reserves, Gordiev, astonished to see him in there, and Ian Copps and Taim Katehoven, the 18-year-old. Central building here, this is, as I said, in qualifying, the beginning of the second half of the season. 5 rounds gone, 5 to come. 10 races between now and the end of the season. 23 points the gap, but the Leeuwarders boys lead. Brunier at the moment still in third place. Koen Hermans chasing him down. Davy Sanders looking good, with Jens Vincent alongside this weekend. But Etienne Bax did something special in qualifying. What can he do in the race? Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard there. Hard to believe that someone of Bax's quality has stepped away from the sport, but after 30 years, I guess he's entitled to, isn't he? Into 1 minute then, and this start at Lommel is all important. A tight left-handed turn, a very short straight. So where will they end up at the end of the first lap? Brunier's. What can they do in the sand? He's the man. Koen Hermans, Ben van den Bogart, they're sand specialists. Davy Sanders too is good, and the Leeuwarders boys have shown they can go in any terrain. Likewise Pruma, for that matter. This is it then, 30 minutes plus 2 laps for these guys. Look right over on the left-hand side of the grid, right as you look at it. Etienne Bax is right there, not hard against the fence. That's the Brunier boys, but pretty close. And of course, you've got the back row. So they're doubling up here. The question is, who's taken the back row behind the fast guys. Well, you can bet Van Lukenen will be one of those. I'm sure down goes the gate, and away they go. And it's an absolutely cracking start for Etienne Bax. Etienne Bax with Brett Wilkinson in third. Round the outside goes Davy Sanders. Davy Sanders, Frank Mulders is in there. Frank Mulders looking good. And did I see Gert van Verven? Yes, I did. Gert van Verven vying for third place. Etienne and Robbie Bax said lead here. Race 1, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. A cracking start by Davy Sanders and Jens Vincent. There you can see Gert van Verven pushing hard, and Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard into third. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard with Tim Prumer. Tim Prumer, Rodolphe Le Breton, and he's going for second place, Tim Prumer. Tim Prumer passing Davy Sanders on a very quick left line there. Tim Prumer, Rodolphe Le Breton, fully recovered from that horrendous coming together on the start line in race 2 at Gdansk, when we thought, well, we all feared he'd broken his femur. Goodness me, just like poor Justin Gerben has been struggling all season to recover from his broken femur, which has just destroyed his season. Hopefully we'll see Justin Gerben back. If you're watching this, Justin, we really miss you. We really miss you. Look at Wilkinson. Look at Wilkinson going through on Davy Sanders. Gert van Verven looking as well. So third place is being fought out here between Wilkinson and Sanders. Ahead of them it's Prumer. In the front of the race it's Etienne Bax and Robbie Bax. A wide line for Brett. Will that work? Oh yes, it will. Over the jump, the left-hand chair working well there. Number 17, Prumer, Rodolphe Le Breton, currently sitting in 7th place in the standings. What can we do about that? I'm saying 7th. Yes, it is, 7th place. Sanders fighting back on Wilkinson. The Leobardis boys look to be on the back now of Brett Wilkinson. Yes, they are. The 101 red plate. 23 points, their championship advantage. The 17-year-old, maybe they'll be turning 18 in a couple of days. It's very, very close. I must find out that birthday. They'll be 18 in the month of July, I'm certain. Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard. What a big, strong competitor, and a determined competitor Brett Wilkinson is. Davy Sanders then, fighting off this challenge here. Everybody behind gets totally filled in because there was heavy overnight rain. The little Bardis boys are getting really filled in. And round the outside, that's Jason Van Dalen. Jason Van Dalen, like Van der Putin, the 723 crew, very cheekily round the outside of Daniel and Bruno Leobardis, showing them a new line. That's Alpha Seek. Oh dear me, that's Sanders. Sanders upside down, the number 9 crew. Oh, what a shame. Davy Sanders and Jens Vincent upside down. Come on, boys, get it off its roof, turn it over, keep going. But they're losing places hand over fist here. You would think, wouldn't you, it's the easiest thing in the world to write an outfit, but I can tell you, it's not. And we're into the closing stages of this race. The clock has stopped running. Etienne Bax is out there, but the Lefriks, would you believe, from 25th are up to 4th. But Marvin Van Lukenen and Glenn Janssens, sensationally, are in 2nd place. This is so heavily edited, of course, because it is a highlight show. We can't possibly show you how he got there. He just fought, but he was in 6th on lap 3. Incredible performance from row 2 for Marvin Van Lukenen and Glenn Janssens. And they have the Leobardis boys chasing them down, but they've already muscled their way past the Leobardis boys. A terrific ride for a determined Van Lukenen. So the number 1 plate going strongly. He's determined not to let that title go easily. Race leaders on the final lap, Etienne and Robbie Bax, and they have stood the test of time here. 30 minutes plus 2 laps, and they are on that final lap. And this is nothing short of an amazing performance. They say when you've had it, you don't lose it. Well, he hasn't lost it, not 1 inch of it. 30 years of racing, started on this very circuit. Etienne Bax as something like an 8 or 9-year-old, and now he's back here with brother Robbie. Sven Visselink and Nicky de Bruyne, they're in something that they're actually in 14th place. So being lapped by Bax in 14th, no disgrace. Waiting then for the winner. The checkered flag is ready for Etienne and Robbie Bax, and they have taken victory. Here they come then. The yellow stripes on their sleeves. Look, the body language tells you everything you need to know, and Bax rode half that race with no goggles. He took them off. They were draped over his left arm. Second place for Marvin van Leeuwen, sensational. Koen Hermans and Ben van den Bogart caught up well, and they were only 2 seconds behind van Leeuwen, so they were coming fast. Confirmation then, Bax, van Leeuwen, Hermans. That's the top three. Lefferinks again from the back row. Got the better of Tim Prumer, Rolf Lebetel. Stefan Wyers, Han van Hal. Another strong sand performance from Stefan Wyers. Frank Mulders, Wilfried Vos, Grundman and Junior Verhelst rounding out the top 10. And those are the points. But look how many Van Leeuwen gets. And I tell you now, the Lille Bardis boys had a problem. How many times have we said it's sort of going to be a long season, you know, we're only halfway there. So hopefully, we didn't see what happened to Lille Bardis, but hopefully we'll find out. I'm quite sure we'll grab them at the end of the race to find out what their problem was, but it was a good one. Bax the winner, no mistaking that. Van Leeuwen, amazing. He's done his championship a power of good. Well, we'll see if we can find out what the problem was with the Lille Bardis boys. I actually went along to the garage afterwards. I caught up with Bruno, the passenger. Daniel didn't want to speak. He wasn't happy. The Lille Bardis twins, the red plate holders, were riding really, really strongly, fighting their way through. They were right there at the sharp end, and then with 2 laps to go, it suddenly disappeared off the screen. I'm with Bruno. Bruno, tell us what happened as much as you can tell us what happened.
Yeah, we had a pretty decent start. Started from like 7th place and then made our way up to 2nd place. And then 3 laps before then, we had technical problems. So yeah, we dropped back to 3rd. And then the engine stops and we couldn't get it going for half a lap. And then yeah, we finished 13.
Well, at least you've salvaged some points. The gap, of course, is now 9, but you have the speed.
Yeah, I think if we don't have many technical problems, then we can keep that plate.
Well, good luck with that, and we look forward to race 2. But what about Bax?
Yes, I made a mistake with my tear-offs, and I pulled them off all at once, so I think it's because of the stress, but you know, it was a good race. We took a whole shot, and we could lead all the race, so I'm very happy with that. I was a little bit stressed, you know, it's been so long since we were behind the gate on the GP, so it's a little bit stressed, but now my day cannot be broken anymore.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, normally the Lommel I don't like it, but after yesterday I hope the track is so worse as possible. I think that's the only option to come back, and it was hard, but yeah, we can find some good lines and pass a lot of teams, and second on the end, yeah, was amazing.
Yeah, Lille Bardis made some mistakes, so this changed whole championship results.
That's the only goal we have. We lose yesterday again points with the DNF, but today we take some points back, and the game is still on, and we not give up till Italy the 2nd race. So yeah, let's go.
Wonderful disappointment for Lille Bardis boys. The Prunier brothers didn't make the best of it. They really struggled. They weren't happy at all in the deep sand of Lommel. But race 2 is coming up. It's just around the corner. They've got to do it all over again. Can Bax brothers go again for 30 minutes plus 2 laps? Supermen, machines, whatever they are. And Van Leeuwen, Wilkinson and Millard, well, they failed to finish race 1, so that was another 0 score for them. They'll be going for it this time. Race 2 then, they've got to do it all over again. But what a weekend we're having at the Lommel Grand Prix. Muscles will be aching. This is tough stuff in the sand. It gets so deep, the bikes almost disappear. 1 minute away from race 1. I can't wait. Ben van den Bogart. What can he and Koen Hermans do this time out? It's getting close. The tension is building. Can the Bax machine do it one more time? You would not bet against it, would you? Oh, Stefan Wyers, Han van Hal. Great ride from them in the sand. Race 2 coming up. Here we are again then, hard over on your right, the Prunier boys. Next to them, Etienne Bax. Then that looks like, well, Van Lukener's tucked in behind, and that's exactly what he did last time. Followed a quick man through. Let's have a look then. We are into the last 15 seconds. Look over on the left of your screen. The young lady's there with the 5-second board. Down go the heads. Clutches are in. A lot of smoke coming from the Zabel on the right-hand side of the Pruniers. Bax is next to them, and Bax gets another flyer. Etienne Bax, the 82, into the lead again with Gert van Vermen round the outside. Then it's Davy Sanders. Then it's Tim Prumer. The Leeuwardis boys are in there with their blue helmets this time. The 101 blue shirts, blue helmets. Daniel and Bruno Leeuwardis are really fighting well. Was that a good start by Stefan Wise? It looked like a cracking start. There's the Leeuwardis boys. Well, Sanders, again, another one. He and Jens Vincent, having been upside down in race 1, are trying to make amends here, the number 9. And Sanders knows how to get the thing off the line. Tim Prumer, number 17. He and Rodolphe Le Breton chasing down Gert van Vermen. The veteran on the TM, the Italian TM, he really punches out of the gate as well. Good starts all weekend for Gert van Vermen. Already, though, a significant lead for Etienne and Robbie Bax, who know that they will have Marvin van Lukener chasing from the second row. But how long will it take van Lukener to fight his way through the traffic? He and the Lefferink started from 24th and 25th places. And they've got 30 minutes. Looking at the clock now, we're into this opening lap, of course. So, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. The Latvian flags being waved. Gert van Vermen and Iver van der Wiel with Prumer Le Breton. The sand, the rut's getting deeper. We've had support class races here as well. Oh, that's Leeuwardis upside down. Daniel and Bruno Leeuwardis. They are not having a good weekend. They're going to have to try and get that. Oh, it's a Marshall. Goodness me, what's going on? Oh, he was lucky. He was lucky. Stumbled on his way across the track. Nearly got collected by the field as they came through. But the Leeuwardis boys are back on. The Mega having had, I'm pretty sure, an engine change between race 1 and race 2. The bike stopped unusually for the Mega. I went into the awning, as you saw, and spoke to Bruno, and they were working frantically on the bike to get it race fit again for race 2, because that is what you do. Gert van Vermen, Iver van der Wiel going through on Tim Prumer. So van Vermen really mixing it with the fast boys here, and he's a fast boy himself and has been for many years. A long career dedicated to the world of sidecar motocross. His company, of course, very much involved in supporting in terms of contracting machinery. Doesn't really want to be associated with the sponsorship side because he's a modest man and loves the sport, and that's why he does what he does for the sport. Leeuwardis back going then. They're on a charge, passing Davy Sanders and Jens Vincent. So having been upside down, Daniel and Bruno Leeuwardis, the clock now saying 16, as you can see, I beg your pardon. We are in a very, as I said, heavily edited version because this is a highlight show. There's only so much we can bring you from these long races. 2 races as well in a relatively short TV show when we cram in the interviews. They are right behind Koen Hermans and Ben van den Bogart. What a race, though, for Etienne Bax at the front. He and Robbie now into the final minute before we get the 2-lap board. And Van Lukener is alongside. Van Lukener has come from nowhere to stalk down Etienne Bax and has taken the lead here. Well, I didn't see that coming because that, of course, was not in the bit of footage we're showing you, but I can tell you he was working his way through and he was up to something like 6th or 7th place on lap 2. And that is sensational from 24th choice on the grid and a back row start. How did he do it in the sand? Marvin van Lukener and Glenn Janssens are now in a red plate position and leading the championship, which they thought had slipped away when they had the DNF in Portugal. then more troubles later in the year. And it was all going wrong for them, but now it's all come good. Here at Lommel, where Marvin van Leeuwen confesses it's not his favourite track. What is that? That's Daniel and Bruno, Neil Bardis, stopped in the deep stuff. So yet again, the Neil Bardis machine, and it's been a machine in terms of man and mechanical effort. They are like machines, those 17-year-olds. Incredible. On the final lap, though, second place for Etienne and Robbie Bax. But ahead of them and on their way to overall victory in the Lommel Grand Prix, Marvin van Leeuwen and Glenn Janssens, the all-Belgian crew on home soil here with a massive following, are bringing it home to win and take the red plate. The Neil Bardis boys stranded out on track, much to the dismay of the Latvian supporters, who are numerous. Checker flag being readied. Van Leeuwen and Janssens. Etienne Bax and Robbie Bax right in their wheel tracks, but what an admirable performance from the Bax brothers. Victory, though, for Van Leeuwen. It's third place for Brett Wilkinson and Joe Millard, putting right their wrongs from race one, but they're a good way back, some 40 seconds off the lead. The Lefrinks came home behind Tim Brummer, who rounded it out in fourth place, so a good weekend for the German. That will really move him up the ladder in terms of the championship standings. And I haven't yet got those standings to hand, of course. But overall, well, what can I say? What a result. And Brett Wilkinson, Joe Millard ahead of the Lefrinks. There's the overall, that's the GP podium. Van Leeuwen, Bax and Brummer on the podium. He will be delighted. 47 points for Van Leeuwen. That has really dragged him back into the pound seats. Lefrinks was strong. Wires again. Hats off, Stefan. Good ride ahead of Koen Hermans. Into the next 10, and we've got Verhelst, Eben, Van Verven. Had his problems again, but what a cracking early half of the race he had. Prunier boys, yeah, they get some points, 15. They won't be happy with that because they slipped to about fourth, I believe. Davy Sanders was strong. If he hadn't been upside down, he'd be even stronger. Vandala, disappointing by his standards. Jake Brown, Verhees, Stuart Brown, 0-0. Long way to come, but you haven't been riding enough, Stuart, we all know that. Kim de Kock, Artist Devil Dare, the French boys, 0 for them as well. Gordieff and Kops, of course, did not take part.
Unbelievable, it's very nice. It's the nearest race at my hometown, so many supporters were here, cried the whole time, and I think for a German and a French guy it's very special to drive a podium in Lommel. It's unbelievable, very nice.
I'm so happy for you. Congratulations and enjoy the podium.
Thank you, we will.
Tim Brummer, Rolloff Le Breton, fantastic.
I think before this weekend, if we would talk about this result, we would be very happy. But you know, we lead the race till halfway, and then we got past. So it's always unfortunate. You want to win, you know. That is in our mentality. But all in all, good. You know, we have no preparation, and we could finish second on the podium and this weekend. So I think we need to be happy. It's a nice end of my career, and let's celebrate now.
And he really means it. He's quit.
Congratulations for the win. What a race. You are leaving Lommel with the red place. So how are you feeling?
Yeah, still can't believe. On Saturday everything goes wrong, and okay, the feeling on the track was pretty good, but you know, here from second row starting is for sure not so easy, but we fight so hard, and everything comes together today, and it's crazy. We can take the win on the second race and the overall win at the home GP. So much people here, good weather, good atmosphere. So I think at the end a perfect weekend.
Yeah, well deserved. Congratulations and see you at the podium.
Thank you.
Well done, Nicola. Well deserved indeed.
Yes!
That's it then, fantastic. Now the awards being dished out. That's it then, Van Luckenen in front. That's a significant gap now. The Leeuwardis boy is still there. Hermans goes up to third at the expense of the Prunier brothers. Brett Wilkinson retains fifth, still has a healthy cushion over Tim Brewer, who's coming fast. Lefrink Spandala was not fast this weekend. It didn't go his way. Just one of those weekends, I guess. Van Verven, Sanders, well, they're still there all in the championship. Etienne Bax catapults his way into 16th place with 2 rides. Would you believe it? Qualifying points as well, of course. Fantastic. Mulders, Adrian Petter, Van der Lagerberg. Dan Foden, come on, step up, give him a passenger, somebody. Well, what a weekend we had here in Lommel. The flares go. It's been absolutely terrific. The weather was kind. The track as punishing as ever. The Leeuwardis boys have to go back, regroup, before we go to France. From me, Barry Nuckley, hope you enjoyed it. We'll be there in 2 weeks' time in France. But from us now, thanks for watching. Join us again. But for now, goodbye.
We never stop, so go on when you finish. And even when we bleed, still believe that we can win this. We got what's underneath. You're all about that image. We never even stop at the top, no limits. Champions. And we're the champions. And we're the champions. And we're the champions. So bring it on.
Williamson is 10 times the world champion. Bax and Stupilis, they've done it again. Unbelievable. Marvin Van Luckenen certainly deserves the red plate. And what an incredible sport this is. Fast, high and spectacular. Unbelievable.